Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. We've had a load of updates on ships and ship features, some of which are currently being worked on. So let's take a quick look at the Redeemer, vehicle and ship spawning, docking, the Hull C, armor, shields, and new HUDs for ships. The Redeemer's been shown off in a bit more detail. It's moved very much into a gun ship role. It has changed a bit from its original concept. Lots of front-facing turreted weaponry, big guns there. They have reworked the ship's exterior, massaging the shapes to be more in line with Aegis, while also keeping the shapeology where possible. The nose, turrets, and tail have changed a lot here. There is a manned turret on the top center of the ship, as well as towards the front of the ship on the bottom as well, so you should have actually quite a lot of range for protection on the Redeemer now. There is a ramp on the back. They've enlarged the interior, allowing for better access to items and components. The engines rotate for VTOL. It's very suitable for atmospheric assaults. The Redeemer is not in active production currently, so bear that in mind. It's not something that's likely to come in 2020. With vehicle in ship spawning, they are waiting for the iCache to be complete, which allows them to have then dynamic item ports to then spawn ships or vehicles in other ships and vehicles appropriately. Updates on this later, it seems, not looking like it's for 2020 either. A docking update, Parasite docking the P-52 with the Constellation, known as hard docking, is being worked on now. They are dealing with quirks of having two vehicles connected together, but it's functional internally, and they need to solve some physics problems with them before moving on. With this kind of docking, you will need to request docking from the parent ship, and then they will need to accept that, and then a docking UI will help you sort of get in the right position, get close to the dock, and then when you're very, very close, within a couple of meters in the right orientation, you will then finish auto docking. So you've got to do a lot of it manually, and then it will finish it off with an auto dock. This type of docking will be completed first, so it's what they're working on now, and then they also have a functional prototype for ship-to-ship docking, so they're working out the last of the tech hurdles before it goes into full production for that. This is going to allow you to dock larger ships with space stations. Beyond that, they will be looking at ship-to-ship docking later. It's not a priority compared to Parasite and station docking. The Hull C has had more of its requirements met. The ship-to-station docking feature with multiple animatable physics grids is something that they needed to get done and ticked off a list, which is now complete for the Hull C's needs. They need rooms and grids to scale and expand and contract with a single unified system. State changes need work, as does the cargo system. They need to have larger cargo containers, not thousands of small ones, because that's not going to be resource efficient for servers. They're implode, and they need like huge cargo containers to be able to be put onto the Hull C, so that you don't have like all these boxes everywhere. Physicalized armor penetration, and sign distance field shields are all in active development at the moment. They are also part of the sort of FPS armor and gameplay with that as well, not just for ships. Once the tech is completed, they will convert a small amount of ships fully over to the new system, and then make sure they play with each other well. This system entirely changes how the game balance will work. It's not a simple, the weapon does X damage to a ship anymore. It has penetration over penetration. It's gonna have weapons working in unforeseen ways, and they need to try it, test it, and work out how these weapons really affect different types of ship, different components, in lots and lots of different ways. The balance is going to be hell, I think, but it'll be interesting. The core tech for the sign distance field shields is completed. They are making them look good at the moment. It needs work performance-wise after that, because they need to potentially rein it back so that you can have lots and lots of shields fighting each other without everyone's frame rate crashing. The atmospheric entry effect also uses that sign distance field tech, but on a much simpler scale than shields are going to be using it. Ships HUDs. So they're actively working on a complete Gladius HUD overhaul, partly for Squadron 42's needs, but then all manufacturers will be getting a themed HUD and MFDs for their ships. So the functionality is going to be pretty much the same, but they're just going to be themed differently. So Aegis, which they're working on currently, obviously for the Gladius, that's going to look very different from MISCs, if you see what I mean. Also, a quick public service announcement. Cloud Imperium are raising the price of the Avenger Titan and the Origin 300i by $5 each. They won't have that change until 3.11 goes live, so you've got a bit of a heads up. This will also mean the value of the CCU goes up by $5, so if you already have one and you're going to be CCUing it later, then you've gained $5 for value, sort of. But that's it for today. I'm interested in knowing what you think of the Redeemer. Are you happy with the way it looks at the moment? And it's sort of like just about to come out of concept phase, or not so much. It looks like we're going to be getting progress towards the Hull C docking and all those other features in the near future, and obviously going to be bringing some of those into the game in the not too distant future. But the lack of hard release dates for a lot of this can be quite frustrating for these important features. I do really like Cloud Imperium keeping us up to date though, so hopefully they will do a vehicle features update more often. This sort of thing, really like, but it needs to be done relatively regularly in my opinion. Whatever your thoughts though, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. What am I shilling for today, I hear you ask? Do you hate it when people steal all of your money and your house over the internet? I know I do. NordVPN may have been invented by wizards to help protect your personal data from the prying eyes of the dark web, a sinister cabal of technomancers that grow in power the more they know about your browsing habits. The true story of NordVPN's origins are unknown and lost to the ages, and without using facts, no one really knows how it provides more accessibility to otherwise censored websites or a safer security experience for all that use it. All I know is that it does, and that when you sign up to it, the power level of my bank account grows, and I use it, and maybe you should too. Every month we have a giveaway for a Star Citizen ship. For this month of September, it's for the Talon Light Fighter, the Battlebird Glass Cannon. Just comment on any of my videos made during September 2020 to be in for a chance of winning that. That ship should be flyable by the end of the year. If you'd like to further support the channel, there is Patreon or YouTube channel memberships via the join button down below. That will net you some exclusive content each month, but sharing videos, liking, subscribing, dinging the bell, as well as commenting and giving feedback really does help the channel to grow and give me an idea of what you guys want. Thanks very much for watching, you take care, and I'll see you in the verse.